Having a wonderful morning. Let's get this day started. We'll do a quick market recap in just a minute. So pretty much you guys know already from the news, Trump said like he wasn't going to sign on any stimulus package until after the election, which is utterly stupid because I don't know if people realize, but regardless of who wins the presidential election, the stimulus will get passed because the people need it, the companies need it. And then later in the afternoon, he said, "Oh, well, the airlines should get the stimulus and everything." And I'm like, you literally just made a statement that said, "Hey, I'm not going to pass any stimulus anytime soon until after the election." Now you're saying, "Hey, the airline should get it." So what about the general public that actually need the help, right? So that's why we're kind of been on a recovery now. I think he realized that after his statement how much the market tanked, and you know him with his market, right? He loves talking about it. So after seeing the market tank like that, I'm pretty sure he realized like, hey, that's probably not the best thing he could have said. And now we are making that little comeback because I guess he's saying like if he can get like the airlines approved and everything, he'll sign the deal now. So it's like everything's kind of like up and down. Yeah, Dragon, the new chart, it's I'm because we might be a little bit range bound, so I just pulled up the 500 tick chart with just a basic super trend just to understand trend analysis. And this down here is just the ATR to see how much movement we're getting. So this is mainly for me to understand when the chop is happening, or else are we trying to break out of a little range. So, and this right here is just the tick count. Super simple. This is just for me to understand, like, hey, are we just going to be chopping back and forth, or are we just, you know, trying to make a new move? This is simply just understand like a little bit of trend analysis on a simpler way. Obviously, price action and understanding that's probably the best way, but this just makes it easier to say, hey, you know, green, we're going up, red, we're going down. If I do trade, I only trade the tick charts when it's highly volatile, and I was expecting higher volatility today, but the ATR are telling me, hey, we're not really doing much. So if I see it jumping back and forth right here, then obviously I'm gonna be more careful. It's market's open, guys. Let's see. Nice pump up. And when I do take trades off of the tick chart, is again 500 tick and your regular super trend. I'll show you the settings too, like 21 period and then 3 multiplier. Super simple settings. I know people normally use the 7 or the 10. I like using the 21 just because it gives me more additional confirmation. And you can use this to scalp in volatile markets, but right now since the ATR is very low and we might just be chopping back and forth, that's my only concern. But again, right now, you know, if you got in there, you would have popped off. It is taking off right now. And again, we had an algo alert back at like 6:50 in the morning. Right now, it just got hit completely. Right? Our algo came out with an alert at 650. Level 1 hit, level 2 hit, level 3 hit. Just hit it right now, and see if we can probably push higher, because I think the 1 hour charts, it is pretty bullish again because it started rebounding overnight, right? If I go to the 1 hour charts, we can see we got one alert at 3 a.m. Didn't really work out. And then the one at 6 a.m. was the one that's like trying to push. It hit the first target right here. Second target is at 33.96 and third target is at 34.06. I don't know, with all this random news from like Trump and his decision making skills, like I'm a bit more cautious today. Like I don't want to jump the gun on anything. Again, for our delta plays, we'll always wait after the first 15 minutes. That way we can avoid this volatility and like random like pump down, pump ups, right? Is yesterday we saw we just ended up staying in that morning range for a long time before we broke through. And that happens a good amount of times, so that's why we got to be very careful. So for my delta plays right now, since we are just been pushing up, I will look for a move downwards. So a nice red bar. And then after the red bar, obviously the green bar would be what I'm be looking for. So we'll go from there. But I would like to see a nice pullback and then get a nice alert and just ride that through. Again, the tick chart is just for me to understand like the short-term trend that's happening. Like if I play this, it'll be for quick scalps. And obviously if we got it in right here, that would have been a nice move, right? Pretty much we broke through our resistance level. We pretty much bounced off of it overnight once. Finally broke through. Acted as support right here, as we can see. Sellers tried to push down, but price acted as support perfectly. Now we're pushing up. And if we're going for resistance level to resistance level, we could make our move right up to 34.23, right? That won't happen immediately unless we see crazy amount of buyers step in, which I highly doubt will happen immediately. But throughout the day, right? Good morning, Mustafa. Yeah, almost 100 subs, man. There's 4 more. Let's see if we can get there today. It'd be that first milestone, right, guys? Let me see how crude oil is doing. I have started putting that on my radar again. I really appreciate your support, guys. Like, I haven't even said like ask for likes yet, and you guys have been liking the video already. Like, it means a lot. Like, honestly. Yeah, and and the main reason we're like pretty much surging up right now is because again, Trump's making tweets about, he wants to urge on the airline plan to come out. He wants to give money to the airlines, but not the people yet, which makes no sense whatsoever. And last night he also said, I quote his tweet, right? If I'm sent a standalone bill for the stimulus checks for 1200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I'm ready to sign right now. Are you listening, Nancy? Can this guy make up his mind or not, man? Like, I don't care what political party you support or anything. That doesn't matter to me. That everyone can have their own opinion and support their own cause, right? My only thing is, if you're in power and you're in a leadership role, act the part, do what you need to do to help the people. That's why you were appointed. You shouldn't be jumping back and forth just because, oh, your tweet and your news made the market tank, so now you have to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to support it now. His tweets have affected the market, guys. Like, pay attention to that. Nice little pullback coming right here. Again, this is a 500 tick, so it will be more rapid. But we're always focusing on our 5-minute charts. Once we break through this, we should be able to push nice highs. I'm gonna let the morning range finish after this candle closes, and then we can plan our entries. Vinay, I'm using the 500 tick chart right here just for like quick trend analysis, just to see what's happening. I only trade this when markets get really volatile, so I'm expecting a bit more volatility to step in because obviously back and forth with this news. So that's why I had it up just in case. And it helps me understand the short-term quick trend that's happening, just so if I'm in a long position, I know exactly when to get out. And everything I have on it, this is just a simple super trend. Again, just for trend analysis. This isn't like my great order entry system. Like my algo is where I enter my orders and place them and everything. If I use this, this is just gonna be for like 1 point, maybe. Not even, depends, right? And again, the settings for that were 21 and 3 for the super trend. You should have it on any platform that you use. But right now I'm just waiting for that morning range to close. Then we can decide for our breakout moves. Good morning, Sergio. Yeah, I realized that me having it even like a few inches back would make a big difference in the sound, so I really just put it right in front of my face now. That's why you probably see it in the video too. I didn't know mics were this sensitive. Because I'm always a person that, I like to lean back, just sit back and then watch my charts, but I guess for the sound, I kind of have to sit forward a little bit more. We are pumping up again. We broke, well, our morning range is going to get extended right now. Feel like I should have just got in on these tick chart plays because they kind of worked out nice, right? Nice quick moves. This is gonna be our morning range, guys. Again, me personally, I'm gonna be waiting for breakout the first time, pull back in, and then go for a second breakout. Yeah, the tick charts are meant for scalping. Like if you want it to get in every time the super trend changes. But again, one thing you do have to remember with the super trend settings, right? When I trade the tick charts, I always trade in favor of the trend. You guys know I use a 200 EMA very strictly. Above 200 EMA, upside, below 200 EMA, downside. So when I was above the 200 EMA, I would only be looking for up moves, so the green moves. And in this case, yeah, they would have worked out pretty well. But again, I didn't want to get risked out in the first morning because in the past couple mornings sessions, we have been, just jumping back down, getting that sideways movement a little bit. So until I get clear conditions where market's trending, that's when I'll start using the tick charts and getting in like that, or else I'll just wait it out and see a nice place. Yeah, Dragon, I did check out the 200 tick chart, man. I've been keeping an eye on it. It is very interesting. Like right here, right? I did find this to be very interesting. Dragon, did you said Brian Weber made this or some like the other guy, right? I want to watch like the full video on it. If you could link me, that would be great. This is very interesting, but again, Brian Watt, my bad. I wonder who Brian Weber is then. Maybe somebody else. Who knows? But yeah, I'll check it out. His video. I tried to go on his channel once. It's a bit confusing to navigate through, but I'll try to search for it. I was trying to figure out here, you know, came back down, but oh, there's no specific video. Okay. I mean, yeah, this does work. It kind of just reminds me of like the Bollinger Bands and just kind of doing that formation, right? When you're reading the charts. He's here, worked out perfectly. But yeah, I definitely have to have some more research on it and learn how to trade it exactly. I can't just be like, oh, it crossed here, I have to buy, right? Because it can continue. Okay, you add micros as it goes. Okay. And I'm assuming it's to get short as well because every time it touches those lines, it tries to flip back. Okay, let's see if we can break out of this morning range, guys, and then we can see if we can pull back down and then we can make that move to the upside. And again, we had our algo alert pop in around like 6:50 early morning. That's when the trends have been starting lately, very early. And we kind of just crushed through it to level 3, right? How big was that move? 14.5 points. Okay. Yeah, they've been coming in pretty early. Kind of miss having them, you know, in the morning session. That's when they used to come a lot more, but I guess market conditions are changing, so we have to pay attention to them. We'll probably end up getting a nice alert later on in the day. I don't know. The buyers are kind of getting a little weaker here. I want to see just a little test, right? Little test of the breakout, and then come back in. That's when I want to get in. So on the option side, I can see the calls and puts, but I don't know if it's right or buy. So now I'm also using deltas on the contracts to try to determine that. High deltas should be that buys and low deltas, right? Okay. I mean, last night I was trying to watch some videos and read up on, that option flow and the options ratio, right? The put calls ratio. And it was just like a bit of back and forth between people. They were saying it used to be very good in the past, but ever since like we have like multiple different things like inverse ETFs and everything else, like that ratio doesn't really affect too much. But we'll see. There's probably a hidden way for everything, right? Certain settings. It just broke out of that morning range. Perfect. Pulling back in. I want it to hold inside before I get in. So if you're trying to use options, man, try to use one of the dark pool services. I know there's like a like the option flow like people that um provide that data. That's an easy way to understand the market direction and what the market makers want to do, what the institutions want to do, because you'll see like calls and puts with the value of like 5 million, 10 million. And obviously those aren't retail traders at all. Because retail traders do not have 5 or 10 million to put on an option. That is all institution money, and they have big reason on why they buy it, right? So looking into the dark pools will definitely tell you a great deal. Just want this candle to close real quick. I have my mouse on the entry at 33.94.25, but I wasn't quick enough to click it. Let's see if we can. And it's pushing down again. Okay, that's good. Just push down a little bit more. Thank you, thank you. I'm really trying to have price hold underneath our morning range. That's when I want to place my order. Because we tend to get that little tiny breakout, pull right back down, and then we get the big move. Not yet. Just waiting for price to hold below, guys. That's when I want to place my order. I can see sellers trying to pile up right there as well. So that 1 point would be a struggle. So you can see the tick charts bouncing back and forth. They're slowly getting lower. So I want price to hold below before I put my order in. I don't want to get trapped. I'd like to see price pull down at least like 33.91 or 90. Going down to 90. Again, for these breakouts where you just go for that 1 point because, you know, we can guarantee that 1 point and it's going to be a quick play. It should just be like a quick pump through, right? Obviously, we can go for more if we wanted to, but when we're going for a quick scalp, that's the move. 500 tick chart, pushing down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm comfortable because if we push up like this, push through the price, then we should make a good move. So I will keep that order up there. We should most likely see support at 33.87 if it pushes down. The reason for 33.87, one, even on the 500 tick chart, that's the 200 EMA. Two, even on our algo, that was take profit level 3, which was at 33.8750. So we'll see how well it plays out. We should see a nice little bounce back. Where's our 200 EMA on the 5-minute charts? We have some space on the 5-minute charts. Let's see. Some struggle. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Can we pump back up now? Yes or no? You can see the tick chart struggling right there, right? 3 dojis back to back to back on the 500 tick chart, right where I said 33.8750. Let's see if we can catch a nice bounce up. Honestly, on this one, I might just get in early. Might try to play the tick chart. Put ratio says down, delta say up. Okay. And then we might end up becoming chop. I don't like the chop, guys. You guys know this. I hate it with a passion. I miss having those mornings where I could just be done in like the first 15-30 minutes. Just in, out, done for the day. I miss those days. Now it's like, okay, I have to sit here for a while and just wait. Yeah, the tweets can make a big difference right now, right? That's what really annoys me, like the fact that a simple tweet like moves the market. And since we are just waiting, if you guys could hit that little like button, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Might just be a nice delta play, to be honest. Nice delta bar, right? Price is trying to break through right here. We'll see if it wants to hold. Unless it can, honestly, you never know. It can just chop back and forth, right? If it breaks below this, you know, I'll go from 33.86 to 33.85 just based on the delta. Again, for the delta scalps, it has to be a quick move within the next candle. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We cancel our order, we move on. And honestly, I don't blame them for being scared of the tweets, man. It's like it's making a big difference. We really do have to watch out for that. And breaking news: Trump can't block subpoena for his tax returns. Appeals court says setting up potential Supreme Court fight. I think there was news that he evaded paying taxes for a while. That's interesting. That's how. Isn't that interesting? Like our president is the one evading taxes, but telling us that we have to pay them. Still got some time on this candle. Let's see. Get that push through either direction. We're prepared. I mean, these tick charts are moving nicely today, though. Quick scalps on this would have been nice. Let's see, can we get these quick scalps in today? Ooh, we have a nice amount of sellers stepping in at 33.89. Like seeing that. More than they just moved it down to 33.88.75. That's interesting. They don't really move like that. They just disappeared. What is happening? What is happening? You have orders in your first screen. So these are the same orders. Is it's the same ticker, right? ES and ES. So they're both the same. It's just that it's just gonna show up differently on this one than this one. But if you look at the price, right? I'm getting short at 33.86, taking profit at 33.85, same numbers. So it's just gonna put it on both tickers because it just shows it like that. Would I like to have it just on the one screen that I entered on? Yes, I would. But obviously that's not a feature, so I can't do that. Let's see. Maybe we can push up now. Maybe this was just a minor pullback. We'll see. And we're canceling our delta play because obviously we didn't get hit on the next candle. That means that momentum was gone. Let's see. Maybe we can still push up, get that morning breakout because we didn't break out below, right? So we should be in good hands for this one. That's interesting. There's live right now. Household hearing for Internal Revenue Service amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. Interesting, interesting. This is going to be an interesting day. And we punched right through. Okay. Obviously, we got that one point that we're looking for here, but it didn't fit our plan, and discipline really matters with trading, right? I like going for back-to-back moves, not pulling back up, having hesitation, coming back down, because in the long run, this will probably burn me if I just kept waiting. So even though, I could have made that one point, okay. I'll still wait for this morning range breakout. Move this up just a little bit. There we go. Good morning, George. I mean, if we broke through just a little bit and then we completely push down, we should have a heavy movement. So I'll play the breakout of the morning range to the downside as well. I'm really starting to hate these choppy mornings, guys. Like, it takes so long to find a nice move. And the one thing that is moving right now is CL, which I wish I was paying attention to because I did want to get into it. Because we did get an alert on the Algo 4CL in the 5-minute charts. I'll show you guys that right now. It hit take profit level 1 at 39.45. It's a nice move. Let's see what the total target is. Total move prediction is 56 ticks, so that's 560 in profit if you trade one contract. Let's see how well it works out. Udo Seldens, yeah, man, you're welcome, man. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I love talking to you guys. Like, you guys, honestly, it's really nice. Patience is your best friend. I agree with you, man. Just gotta wait. I gotta set my alerts up for this one. I just recently started watching CL again since the market's more normal, starting to behave properly. It's not having any sporadic movements like before. So you'll probably see me start getting into crude oil plays very soon. And we'll set up the alerts for it after the stream. I'll put it in the Discord as well. That way you guys can get the alerts as well. Join that Discord, guys. You guys can get all the same alerts that I get. And you guys can talk to me at any time. We can talk to everyone else in that group. Nice to have that little community helping each other out, right? Still waiting for it to break below. Tick charts, obviously going back and forth, back and forth. Let's see how far we can get today. I'm hoping, I mean, if we can get a nice pullback, then I could see a nice move to the upside again. Because even in the, like, you know, higher time frames, right, we are still pushing up. So that's something to pay attention to. Morning, Chuck. Oh, you hate being on the West Coast time? Nah, it's all good, man. At least you get nice weather. Because in like about a month or so, I'll be wearing my winter jacket, having to bundle up and walk around. Gotta deal with the East Coast winter, right? The winter for the West Coast is like, oh, let me just put on a sweatshirt. I'm like, I would love to have that. But again, right now, I'm just waiting for the breakout of either side. For a quick point, and then we're gonna see if we can find bigger moves or delta plays. Obviously, this one didn't work out for us. I canceled my order because it didn't follow through in the next candle, so selling pressure got weaker. Okay. Oh, yeah, you guys get rain a lot more, right? Yeah, if you're in Washington State, that's all rain city. Eh, I mean, we see the sun pretty often, actually. It's just the weather gets cold. Let's see, we're finally getting some buyers. Maybe we can make that shift. The tick chart's indicating a nice little momentum. Whoa, whoa, I'm not trying to get in on anything else. Um, let's see. I'm really hoping this should be a quick play, quick 100. Just go for these quick scalps at the moment. Nice movement. I like that. Let's see. Can we just pump through? I'm gonna cancel this order because obviously we're trying to push higher. And Q's making that push slowly. ES is leading right now. Got filled right there. Let's see. Can we get that 1 point? Ooh, sellers are kind of. Let's see. Should get that push. I don't see why we can't get that 1 point push. We should push higher, to be honest. The way it's building up. Tick chart getting just a little weaker. Should get filled any second. I don't see a reason for us not to get filled. Come on. Hit no fill, seriously? Oh, don't do this to me. Hit no fill is a worse situation. Literally hit it, guys. I'm just waiting for it to fill me in. Like, a nice strong candle too. We should see some buyer support right now. Where the heck are... I hate these situations. Let me see if I can... Nope. Down about 275 just from that. I was expecting a quick move. It hit it, just didn't fill me. Yeah, that was a really bad break, to be honest. Like, I don't like that. I mean, I would just get out, but I really, because it hit it, I was expecting a little, little back and forth right there, and then it should pop up, but I was like planning on moving my stop up right there, and then it filled me and took me out, hit my stop loss way too quick. So it's like, sometimes that does happen, and which sucks. This is a really bad break. Normally when it breaks out for the second time, it gets that 1 point, because we were only going for that 1 point too. It's like, it should have been quick. But the tick charts are working very smoothly today. Still holding above, so we should be good, in good hands, but did take me out. Let's just be patient, find a good move. Not gonna try to revenge trade anything. Now it's getting weaker again. Okay. Yeah, we might just be struggling back and forth between our morning range again. So let's see if we can find a good move. Probably take a while for us today, So we'll have to be patient. But that 500 tick chart with the super trend, it would have made for some good scalps today. Yeah, really struggling to break out of that morning range. Now we finally got that breakout. I guess I just needed a bigger stop here. Why I'm stronger? Okay. I think we're gonna get that little push that we're waiting for right now. I'm just gonna place an order up here and I'm gonna drag and drop. Yeah, this one's gonna be for a bit more profit this time. Looking at the way, I think we should be able to get a nice push. Just gonna let this candle finish first and then I'll plan my entry in. Because I'm looking at the volume, looking at the price trend. I think we should be good. Let me know how your trades are going, guys. Are you guys getting some profits in today? I hope you are, though. Right now, I'm just waiting to see if candle closed, then I'll look to see if I can get a nice little entry. Lewis, you're up 1K. That's nice, man. Are you still using the Kentler channel? Okay. I'm guessing you're trading the crude oil for that, or no? YM and copper. I think you're the only person I know that trades copper. But hey, if it's working out for you, that's good, man. I mean, some people don't like having high volume and high volatility. They like to read the charts and, like, they're patient. And Lois, is there like a video on it explaining that system at all, or no? I think you might have mentioned a name, Lewis. I don't remember. Like if there was a video or some guy that talked about it. I forgot. Or it might just be your own system. It's less noise than the 1 minute for 5 minute. Okay. But did you ever say that there was a person that made a video about it, or was it just, I think, your personal strategy? Trying to see if we can continue this trend to the upside, right? And like the 5-minute charts, we have been doing this nice little upwards trend, right? Should be able to continue it. Is Crude Trader the name of the channel, or I don't know? Or are you just saying you're a crude trader? You averaged it? I mean, yeah, you got to make everything your own, right? Something that makes sense to you. I mean, if you have a link, I'd love to check it out. You know I like learning. Right now, guys, like it's just going back and forth. Kind of very annoying. But yeah, if you could post a link, I'd definitely check them out. Or you can just DM me on Discord or just email it to me. Whichever one works, right? Love to check some stuff out. Just learn more. Oh, you know a crude trader, so it's not like a YouTube channel or anything like that. Because I do want to get back into trading crude oil. It has been stabilizing a bit more, making smooth moves. That's why I want to find out. Yeah, we're just getting choppy again. Not gonna risk anything. Yeah, I've used the Ichimoku cloud before, so that's actually a good method as well. But I don't know, I kind of grew out of the Ichimoku cloud. But the Kentler channel does seem interesting. I'm like taking a look at it right now because obviously no movements on the ES for me at the moment. Let's see if we can get a quick scalp in on the 500 tick. I'm gonna see if I can just get that quick 1 point off of the break with the 500 tick, right? In the meantime, let's take a look. What was that? Yeah, TradingView does not support tick charts just yet, so that is something. But essentially with the 500 tick, all you're doing is going for quick moves, right? And when markets are kind of ranging and they're a bit more volatile, that's when they work the best. Today was one of those days. That's why I had it up. But the simple explanation, right? You just wait to get confirmation of the move. But with the 500 tick, you have to act pretty quick in the morning, right? You wait for confirmation, you know, the trend, super trend confirms it, the trend direction, and you're just going to go for a quick 1 to 2 points, right? Depending on the movements and the ATR that's happening. And you'd wait for this bar, and then at the high of that bar, you just wait for the break, and then you can go for a quick point. Same thing every time, right? Quick points. Here, you wait for the break below the first signal candle. Again, same thing here. All you're doing is waiting for the break of the signal candle, and then you just go for a quick point. Do they still look bullish? I mean, I personally do think it is bullish because when I looked at the higher time frames, right, it was bullish. Let's see if we can still get the break up here. I'll still go for it at 1 point. Oh, for the 500 tick charts, it's honestly just the super trend, right? I was going about it before as well. Um, it's nothing special. It's just to understand like the short-term trend movements. So if you click super trend on your Tradeovate or whatever platform, and you know, change your time period, the period to 21 and the multiplier to 3, and then you can have that set up, right? It's just to understand the short-term trends. It's very effective when it's high volatility like it was back in March during COVID and everything. Tick charts were definitely the wave back then, but now the way markets are moving, you know, things slowed down. Trying to see if we can get that quick 1 point burst. We should be able to. But we have been struggling around that price point. But again, my big trades always come from the algo. These are just for like quick scalp plays if I ever want to go for them, like right now, right? You have to be kidding me with these hit no fills. Thank you. So yeah, you pretty much get in at the confirmation of the reversal. And it's just to get a quick point, right? The tick charts are meant for scalping. They're not meant to have big waves or anything, even though they show you the big waves because they're going to continue it. But the easiest way to trade them is going for that quick 1 point. Like right here, that's exactly what I did, right? You saw it happen. This was the confirmation candle of a trend reversal. Obviously, they can pull back sometimes, but it's still maintained. So I was like, okay. And I bought it at the break of that confirmation candle. And boom, it worked out. But again, we are facing nice resistance up here, right? And if you want to add an additional filter to it, only trade when it's in favor of the 200 EMA, right? If it's above the 200, if price is above 200 EMA, you want to be only looking for trend reversals to the upside. And if it's below the 200 EMA, you're only looking for trend reversals to the downside. Easy, even to make it even easier, obviously, you know, above 200 EMA, make sure things are green. Below 200 EMA, look for the red. So this is just a tick count, right? This is the tick count. So on Tradeovate, these are called tiki ticks. You can search for it. You might have to search for it in Explore Community Indicators and type in tick chart or tick count or tiki ticks, and you can be able to add it. But this just gives you this is just to tell you, hey, when the bar is about to close, right? You don't want to enter when stuff is forming. You want to wait for confirmation of candle close, and then you want to enter. So right now, hits 500 because it's 500 ticks. It's counting the ticks. You can watch it like move up, right? How much back and forth there is between that price point. Right now we started getting weaker, but tick charts are beautiful in like mornings, especially like 9:30 when there's hyper volatility. Like right here, right? Let's start at 9:30 exactly. 9:30 we saw a burst, pumped right through. Again, above 200 EMA, so we don't care about anything that's red, only green. We wait for the break of this one, right? So this was at 33.93.50. Did we get up to 94.50? Yes, we did. But again, this was because we started getting range bound a little bit. We couldn't break through that morning range. Same thing here. You should have got that 1 point. It was at 90, 91, 91, 75. So yeah, we would have got that 1 point there. But you have to act really quick with this. Right now, I'm just using it for understanding the quick trends because I expected the market to be a bit rangy today, as well as could potentially get some volatility in with these stupid tweets. So that's why I brought it back up. But I used to trade the tick chart system a lot during initially in March, was catching every single wave and was doing great. So high volatility is the time when you want to use the tick chart. Lower volatility, you want to go back to your regular 5-minute candles, 1-minute candles, whatever you normally use, right? Yeah, in the 30-minute, we're in a clear channel, right, guys? Like, even from one of our alerts in the 30 minutes, got the buy signal in the 30-minute back at 2 a.m. and ever since, we kind of just hit that take profit level 3. I think 1 hour we're still in good hands as well because we should be. Yeah, we hit level 2. Hit obviously price is gonna jump back down a little bit every time we hit the level. Now we're hitting. We should maybe hit level 3 today. Yeah, I think it's because what happened was with the tweets too, right? He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna do anything," and then right immediately after, like a few hours afterwards, he said, "Okay, I'll sign something." So it's like he's going back and forth. Yeah, Chuck, it was an overreaction because jumping off just on a tweet like that, it makes no sense. Because you need to have like the bills pass and everyone approve it or agree that they're not going to do it before, you do anything. But with these tweets, everyone's just saying, "Oh, he said that. Okay, I'm just going to sell the market." Like, I wonder how many newbies lost money yesterday with their options without understanding market dynamics. Let's see. Can we still push higher? I mean, we're still in good hands in the 500 tick. Just as you touch the lower bands you bought, let me check. Are you talking about the 200 band, 200 tick? I think this is what Dragon was talking about, right? One of the bands. I mean, yeah, you could have done that for your micros. Definitely. Seems like it's bouncing off nicely. Oh, you're talking about yesterday. Down here. Yeah, you could have had a nice move. You just see what the 5-minute chart's just telling me right now. I'm trying to see if we can get a nice pullback so I can enter, get long. Probably have to wait for a little while. Yeah, I'm gonna practice it. I'm gonna see how it works. I'll see if it's a system that I can use or not use. I have to test everything out. NQ is pushing up. Yeah, ES is just trying to push up. It still isn't holding above that morning range breakout, right? Still waiting for that. That'd be a nice confirmation right here, right? Once like the candles start holding above 33.94, that's when we can see a continuation of the trend. So an extremely highly probable strategy is that it's a 9 EMA VWAP crossover. I have some criteria for it to enter, but back test it. Okay, I'll check it out. Never really combined the 9 EMA with the VWAP, but let's pull up an ES chart in the 3 minutes. You said. So when you're going for your risk to reward, right? Are you going for 1 point or are you going for 3 points and you're only risking one? I'm setting it up right now. We have some time. You know, market's kind of just slowly moving. I'm still gonna wait for a pullback or, you know, a downturn, wait for a big move. But until then, I gotta be patient. So until then, no, risk one, get three. Okay, so you're going for 3 points. Good. So this is the 3 minute chart for the ES. The VWAP is purple, 9 EMA, right? 9 EMA, yeah. 9 EMA is blue. I guess that would be a cross, right? Cross yet, it's still trending up. Crossed up here. Guess that wouldn't really count as a cross. What if we switch to Heikinashi or any other charting types? Might get a bit smoother. Let's see. I don't think you would consider this a cross, right? Because you're only waiting for the EMA to cross the VWAP, not the VWAP to cross the EMA. That doesn't count. That's what I thought. Yeah. I have heard of the alligator strategy. It's pretty much just 3 EMAs. Yeah, it's a simple strategy to follow, definitely. I personally just don't want to use it because it works for, you know, if you're swing trading completely. But I think for short-term plays, I don't think it's the best strategy, especially for the futures market. For equities, definitely. If you're trading like on the 1 day or like the 4 hour, 1 hour charts, The alligators charts do work pretty well. But yeah. I mean, I'll definitely have to back test this and see how it works for sure. And you don't get too many crosses either, which is nice. See the wide opening. Okay. I mean, you don't need many trades. You just need accurate trades. Like, that's what I'm trying. I mean, this is something I'll definitely have to back test and understand and see where it works properly, where it fails. Like, there's always different scenarios. Trying to see. It needs the wider crossover. Okay. I mean, it's interesting. I will definitely test it out though, and I'll let you know what I think about it. Top would be right above or below the Weebop after entry. Okay, that's good to know. And you wouldn't enter if it starts flattening out. Okay. I mean, yeah, this is something I'll have to check out and see what time like it works, what time, it struggles. So, and yeah, I agree. Less trades, the better. You don't need to like have a lot of trades to make money, right? We are probably trying to take out yesterday's highs. Let's see. Where are we at? Nah, not we might, right? It'll be a slow move. Sellers are still trying to put some pressure in. Again, we're approaching that 3,400 again. That's where price struggled the most yesterday as well, so that's something to pay attention to. I mean, 1 to 3 risk reward is really good. I will definitely, test everything out though. I mean, you have to understand like which ones work the best and just go from there, right? So we'll see how it plays out. That's something I will play around with for sure. Anytime I put my money into it, I do have to back test everything for a while. Getting some nice movements. Yeah, man, you have to backtest everything if you want to be successful in this game, right? It's because if you don't backtest, that means you haven't really put the time towards it. Just because you saw one trade work out within 1 week or that week what might have just been a nice week for that strategy to work out. You have to really test it. Pick a random date a long time ago and see if it still starts working back then. That's when you understand, like, hey, I actually have a good strategy that can work throughout time. Some strategies only work with high volatility. Some strategies only work when markets are range bound. Some strategies only work when they're trending. You have to understand, like, do you have a strategy that's in place that can work around the markets, and see if, hey, like, is it consistently working, giving me profits, and how bad is my risk to reward, or how good is my risk to reward? I will always preach risk to reward because that matters, right? These markets kind of piss me off with the risk to reward situation because these little quick scalps do require a bit more. That's why I wait for my algo alerts mainly, just because my risk to reward is measured and don't have to really like worry about it too much. I can just ride it out. So we'll see. If we can get a nice alert today, that would be very nice. If not, I just have to be patient and wait, right? I mean, you can combine a lot of things, right? Just don't add too many things into like everything. That way, then you start getting confused, right? We're still holding that trend in the 500 tick chart, right? You love seeing people's charts with a lot of indicators, dude. Honestly, that's not the best thing to see. That gets confusing, and then when you have confusing charts, you don't make the best trades, right? Yeah, I've seen some people make videos with like 20 different indicators on their chart, and I'm like, half of your indicators tell you the same exact thing. Actually, more than half. I know you're joking. Spaghetti charts. Nah, guys, it's like, I don't understand how they can even look at that. That would just give me a headache. I like having nice clean charts. I don't even like having drawings up most of the time just because I mentally picture them in my head already. Like even this stuff, I draw it out for you guys so that you guys can have it. But normally I just personally know, hey, morning range up here, up here. I know exactly where I'm looking at. Price action is the most important thing. Indicators just distract you. Like that's the whole reason even for when I built out the algo, right? I made it as simply visible as possible. So that way you can still read the charts and understand price action while following the alert. You get an alert, says buy, and then it just draws your take profit lines. Like you can't make it simpler than that, right? It's normal to have like maybe one or two or three, but like most of the times, like people end up having the same like indicators telling them the same exact thing. No, yeah, I use the 200 EMA on all my charts. You guys see that all the time. Like 200 EMA is a must for me. Like I am pretty much religious with that thing because like it works. It works very well. You get to understand the trend. Like even if you want to just go for process of the 200 EMA, you would have played out big if you held, right? 200 is good. Yeah, WeWap is good as well. But the WeWap and 200 EMA essentially most of the times end up telling me the same thing. That's why I kind of took WeWap off. Because I was like, they're kind of the same. They end up averaging out around the same price as well. Yeah, 21 is really good. I think the 5 EMA with the crossover of the 21 EMA, very good. Because I remember I told Enzo he likes that. I used to trade with that a lot, but after I built the algo, I was just waiting for the algo alerts. I'm glad you love it, man. Yeah, Chuck, most of the indicators do tell you the same thing because what are they telling you about? Price at the end of the day. So it's just a different way of understanding price. Guys, we are seeing a heavy amount of sellers piling up at 33.95. That is interesting to see. I want to see if they can get taken out or not. And the tick chart, we're struggling on that 200 EMA as well. Nice amount of sellers stepping in. Buyers are trying to step in as well. And that means we're getting a choppy. Yeah, man, it will go back to these levels, right? That's just the way price action works. We follow the support and resistance levels, it'll go back and forth. It really can't break through that 3400. It's been struggling with that yesterday. So who knows? We might see a nice dip back to 3340. We might. No guarantees, but you know, gotta wait it out. Yeah, they do that because they try to read the volume and the volume pressure coming in and out. And that's called like tape reading, and yeah, that you can do that. I personally don't. I wouldn't do that because I don't trust the dome because these orders can come in and get out and play with people. And there's algorithms out there that literally put orders in just to fake other algorithms out. So it's something, you know, maybe back in the day definitely was a nice way of knowing, but now with all the systems that we have, it's not worth it. It's like, look, we had orders of 1,000 pile up right there, but then they took it out immediately, even before price went up there. But back in the day, tape reading was a lot better because one, because you would be able to see, okay, a guy literally put, say if you're trading equities, right, you'll see this guy wants to buy 1,000,000 shares only when this price gets to this point, and they're like, okay, that means we're getting a nice pump. There means there's some sort of news that they know or something because they wouldn't put that much money down or that buy that many shares without knowing something about it, right? So they try to play off of on that. But with now with spoof orders and everything like that, it's not gonna it's not the best thing. Yeah, man. It's crazy. This year has been something else. And I see like the funniest like tweets now and everything. People saying like, "Oh, before we get into 2021, I want to read the terms and conditions." And that just had me dead. It's like, who knows what we have in stock for 2021? Because, dude, we don't even. You know how much stuff we went through this year? Like, what was it? Like we almost had like a war in the beginning of January. Um, Obviously Corona. A lot of people passed away. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Like, dude, like unbelievable amount of stuff that happened this year. And people were making discoveries of like ancient things that they're like, okay, this might affect something. Like, no, life probably won't go back to normal for a while, man. Because honestly, with COVID, the first thing that we should have done is just said, hey, have a mandatory lockdown for 2 weeks. We could have reduced the amount of cases that we had completely. Because it only survives like for about 14 days, right? When it's on an object or anything like that, from according to whatever news I read. And if we had a 2 week lockdown, especially right when we heard about it, and then banned travel for like 2 weeks, we would have been good. But they're like, oh, you can't keep us inside for 2 weeks. We want to be able to go to the bars and do everything. And I'm like, you have to be kidding with me. And then you have college kids saying, oh, you guys can't ruin our spring break, so we're still going to go. And I understand your freedom is your right. That I agree with that. But at the end of the day, if you could save lives, like isn't giving up 2 weeks better than having to deal with it for the rest of the year? Yeah, would have saved a lot of economic pain and debts too, because a lot of businesses closed down because of this. Simple 2 weeks could have saved us. But nope, we have people saying we're not gonna wear masks. We're like, dude, you're saving your own life and you're saving your family's life. Like, I'm pretty sure that's important to everyone, right? Saving your family's life, making sure that they're in good hands. Like, put the mask on. That there are, Chuck. There are a lot of stupid people in this world. Trust me. Oh yeah, I would have been pissed if there was a lockdown on trading. I mean, I guess there was for that little moments where we had circuit breakers kick in for the markets, right? Because they're dropping too much. We had to wait a little bit. I remember one trade during that time where I was trading and it hit the circuit breaker, so my order was still there. And I was literally like, because I was to the short side, so I was in the direction of the trend, but that gave me a little bit of a panic attack because I was like, okay, because I wasn't expecting it to hit the circuit breaker, but then when it opened up, it just dropped even more and like filled me for a great price. I had like a couple thousand in profit just from that one thing because I was like, obviously that wasn't supposed to happen, but I was happy that it worked in my favor. Yeah, man, it is recession proof and everything. So you always do have a job. It's just a matter of how well can you execute, right? Yeah, it is scary because it happened multiple times, right? I'd be in the futures market and then they're about to get fault. And that's when I was like, after that first circuit breaker I was in, then I was like, okay, where are the next circuit breaker markers in place? Like, well, what the parameters for everything. So I had that in mind, marked those areas up, and I was like, if price is approaching this area in this given day, I'm not gonna enter it. But then obviously after that month, I didn't have to worry about that because we started getting a little bit of rebound and we made this crazy pullback. But in March and like the 2 months, like 1 month right after that, you could have traded at any given point of the day and you could have had nice moves. That's when I was actually trading the overnight session as well. I would just stay up and trade because I was like, I can't miss out on this opportunity. Yeah, when 9/11 happened, that was a big deal, man. Rest in peace to all of them. Wouldn't that be nice if I was holding from the bottom all the way? I would love that. No, that's also when I started taking some option plays for the ride back up because we saw that, hey, like we were pushing back up pretty rapidly as well. And at that point, I was taking like monthly options just to be safe because they wouldn't cost me much and I could ride them out to see if that pullback to the upside was happening, and which it did. What's up, Trailblazer? How you doing, man? NQ had a nice alert on the algo, but I just stopped trading the NQs. I just didn't like the way it was acting up. We had one obviously at 655, and then we had another one here at 1045. Hit level 1. Probably will hit level 2. So we will see. And then for some reason we didn't get any alert on the ES. Don't know why, because they usually move in sync. Maybe some parameter just didn't get hit. But NQ is moving a lot more smoother than the ES, right? So Chuck, before the pandemic, markets were a lot easier to trade with, for sure. I mean, but we're not at those conditions yet where we're back to normal. Not yet. We still have some volatility. We still have price moving pretty rapidly. So we're not back to normal conditions just yet. That's good, man. I'm glad, Trailblazer, you're doing well. Not easy working full time and trading. It isn't, man, but you have to struggle for a little bit, right? Before you make that big leap. Get the profits in while you're trading full time and then go. That's why you can do micros and trade, like swing trade them as well. Start building your account up. NQ is dangerous, guys. NQ is nutty. That's the first time I heard that, but I'll agree with it. Nah, I don't think this is gonna be the new normal. No way. The one thing you have to keep in mind is this year we had like what 200,000 new brokerage accounts just open up in E-Trade itself, and then we have like other platforms growing as well, because a lot of people, just because they're working from home, they said, okay, I want to start trading stocks and everything. So they've been getting into the market. Every time a pandemic or we get closer to a recession or a dip, when people get more time on their hands, they trend to put more money in the market to test it out. And then after like a year or two, they end up losing it all, and then we end up going back to normal. Yeah, it is one step forward, two step back. I mean, it takes some time, man. It's not easy. Trading is not easy. It's never been easy. But that's the beauty of it, right? I like the challenge that it provides. Some days we just kind of got to sit tight. And this is why I swing trade stocks on the side, right? That's where I get good amount of stuff as well. And then here, yes, I can kind of just taking small stuff until I can catch a big play. Hopefully we can get like an afternoon dip. Love to see that. And Trailblazer, you'll get the hang of it, man. Like, if you want to chat, hit me up in the Discord channel. We can chat. Maybe if you're struggling with a strategy, I don't know your situation. Maybe you're doing well. If you're saying you're stepping 2 steps backwards, let's talk about it. Let's build a plan for you if you don't have a plan. I'm happy to help. Because having a trading plan is super important. Understanding what times you're going to trade, what strategy you're going to trade, and when, and how diligently you're going to follow your rules is important as well, right? Yeah, if you keep going back and forth between different strategies, then you're gonna struggle. But if you stick to one strategy, you will end up being profitable, because if you do the backtesting and you see the results, you should follow the same exact results in the future. Obviously, you can't control the future, but more times than not, you will get good results. Yeah, and there's gonna be those weeks or maybe months where the market just doesn't like you, but after that period is done, you'll be good to go. Like September was a pretty bad month for me, so it's like still net positive, but wasn't as high as I normally get. But that's also because of the market conditions. I have to be prepared for everything because some months you'll have great movements and you have to be prepared for that. And then some months you'll have slow movements and not too much and just start taking small plays here and there. So you have to like figure it out, right? And that all comes with practice and putting that time in. Yeah, bull flags are very high probability strategies, and you a lot of people just trade specifically the bull flag patterns, right? Chuck, you are on point right now. I agree with everything you're saying. That's my mindset. Trading psychology is everything. Risk to reward is very important. People just get discouraged a lot of times just because, they think, oh, it didn't work out this time. Like, I don't know if it'll work out. And they think, okay, it didn't work out the next 3 times. They're like, it didn't work out. But guess what? It might work out the next 10 times. So it's like, it is a probability game, and you have to understand the numbers and the statistics behind your strategies. That's why I say backtest, backtest, backtest. Keep your journal and understand what you're doing. Because there's some people, right, that just simply trade the break of new highs or like the daily highs on the ES or the NQ. So it's like they're able to do that. Yeah, if your strategy can be utilized using a good risk reward ratio and it's has high probability, then you can trust it and just continue it, right? Yeah, man, it takes some time, Trailblazer. You have to you have to put in that time. You have to put in that effort. It's just like if you play sports, right? You're not gonna get good just because you practice one day. These guys practice every single day, and they finally get to a level where they can play amazing, right? There's a completely good reason why they say practice makes perfect, and it's because it's true. And most traders, when they start, they give up in like a few months or something just because they're like, oh, I don't understand this. Because guess what? You can't understand a whole subject or material like that's completely new to you in just a couple months. It's gonna take some time, especially one that's gonna make you a good amount of money, right? Yeah, if you don't have good psychology, you will fail. I agree with that. But you have to understand when you need to stop trading, when you're okay to trade. Like if I keep taking losses here and here, I would be like, okay, time for me to get out. But right now, I only took 2 trades. So good for now. I'm just really just waiting for the algo, right? That's my bread and butter for where I make my good money on futures. All these scalps are just, I guess I should probably, I don't know, I could stop scalping for a little while. Because I don't like, these range charts are just kind of annoying me too. How long did it take for me to become consistently profitable? It took me a while, man. I think my first 2 years, I was just like testing everything out. I couldn't really do anything. It was really after the first 2 years when I finally started understanding everything, and it was like consistent. Yeah, look at me. Like it took me like 2 years in the beginning. It's like one, I was like back then I was still in school, I was still figuring everything out, and I was like trying to understand. And like that's when you understand your psychology and understand like, hey, like I'm being an idiot right now and I'm just taking guesses. And then I realized like, hey, I need to buckle down, make a trading plan. I built out a trading plan. Then I sat down and practiced it. Then I was like, okay, I have to backtest everything now, and I'm not just gonna backtest it for an hour or two. I'm gonna backtest it for a couple of days and even go backwards into random dates and see how well it worked because I want to trade like I would be trading in real life, right? I don't want to know the previous market conditions because if I just trade backtest it based on the market that I just traded today, I already know when the moves are gonna happen. So it's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't invest here. I'll invest here. Like that's the wrong way to backtest. Pick a random date and see if you can play if you can do it that way. I do recommend trading in the zone. That book is good. That book is good. Exactly, Trailblazer. So now you're realizing it too, man. Like if you're in the proper mindset and you're proper on the proper track then because you're realizing you were just guessing. That's what everyone does when they first start out. They're just taking guesses. After you realize that, it's like, "Oh, I was just guessing." That's get when you're guessing, you're gambling. When you're investing, you're doing it based on statistics, your strategy, you have a plan behind it. You have a reasoning behind it, right? It's like that's something you have to understand. Once you figure out your reasoning behind getting into a trade, that's when you'll see a big difference. That's when you'll start worrying about more things later on, but it's all step by step. And there's been times like you're always gonna end up making a mistake here and there because like even last week I got into an algo alert, it went against me, so I was like, okay, let me wait it out. And then I had another alert, but I was like, that's why I was like, okay, let me wait it out. And then if you guys saw, that thing skyrocketed and I missed out on like a 20-point move. So it's like I should have just stayed in, played it out, right? So it happens from time to time. Everyone will make that will mess up from time to time, but you got to understand you're human at the end of the day. You will make a mistake here and there, but realizing your mistakes and understanding that you're making those mistakes is the thing that's really going to help you change. It will definitely make you into a better trader if you start realizing that. How can you get better? What am I doing wrong and how can I get better? Those are the two questions that you need to ask yourself. Yeah, your loss has nothing to do with the next trade. And you really have to worry about how well you're executing your strategy and how well you're trading instead of just worrying about the P&L. That's why I don't like having my P&L up or anything. I just put the P&L up here just because you guys wanted to see it, and I have no problem with that. But if I was trading by my own, I would just take the P&L off my chart because I don't like looking at it. Yeah, ES is very slow and keeps like a tiger. I don't know where you're getting this stuff from. Before it was like nutty, now it's tiger. I never heard NQ being compared with the tiger. Let's see. Yeah, NQ hit our level 2 target. ES just going, guys. It's just going. Yeah, Chuck, you really do have to be serious about it, right? Like, if you start treating it as like, oh, I can just make money like everybody else. I saw my friend make money. I'll just put it in. Then you're gonna just lose it all. Like, it won't work that way. But understanding, like, hey, like this is gonna require some time. This is gonna require some effort. That's when you'll, once you start putting that effort in, that's when you'll see a big change in how you trade and how well you trade. And that's something a lot of beginners don't do because they're like, oh, I have to put this much work in. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. That's where we get our statistic 90% of traders fail because they give up. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the one reason I built out the algo. Because it makes life a lot easier to trade with. Like I said, that's why I offered you guys for a 2-week trial to test it out. If it's a system that works for you, definitely use it. You just got to be patient sometimes. I mean, you can obviously change it up to different time frames and then tune it to your own liking, right? That link is always in the description. You guys can sign up at any point. Following the rules is the hardest part, right? Like, we don't follow our rules and we don't. Once we start breaking them, that's when we start seeing our account go down. Dragon, I'm just like you, man. Like, even though I have a good system going for me, I still like to learn because you never know what's out there, and it's always good to learn. And you can, combine stuff together and make it even better. I mean, that's in any career, guys. Like, if you decide to stop learning, that's when you fall behind. No matter what career you're in, if you want to be successful, you have to constantly learn and understand what you're doing because that's what makes the biggest difference. Even if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're continuously learning different things that are happening. There's different diseases, there's different laws coming into place, like different cases happening. Like, you have to be adapting to everything and you have to keep learning. Honestly, Chuck and Trailblazer, if you guys want, just message it in the Discord, in the random chat in the Discord link below. You guys can talk and you guys can probably help some other guys as well. Yeah, man, just send it to the random chat in the Discord channel and you'll be good. Like, you'll probably help some other people out as well because I know there's a lot of newer traders coming in trying to learn. And that's why we're here, right? We're here to help each other out. Yeah, we've just been chopping around in price. Kind of glad I'm not in anything at the moment. Still really struggling to hold above our morning, right? Pushed above it just a little bit, but we've been really struggling. And lowest, like, yeah, depends on what chat rooms you're doing, right? If you're going into a chat room service that's gonna tell you stuff, then that's different. But if you're in like a group in a community, that's different as well. So we have a little bit of divergence where we have cumulative delta pushing down, but we have price still pushing up. We might end up seeing a big push to downside. We just hit level 2 on the algo, so that's we probably will see some more resistance, right, on the 1 hour charts right here. Level 2 got hit. So we'll see how it reacts. Might want to buffer around just a little bit, so we'll see. You're welcome, Lewis. I'm happy to be here, guys. I have a lot of fun being here. Like, I know I haven't been taking too many trades, but that's the thing, right? I'm not that person that's gonna pop in here and be like, oh, I'm just gonna do all these random trades. Because there's people out there that literally just do random trades on like their demo account, pretending to do something. But you gotta be patient. I take these scalps here and there just if I like them, but my main thing is going for those algo plays. And when they play out, sometimes they happen later on in the day, and then I'll end up trying to get in from my phone or from if I'm near my computer, I'll hop on my computer. But yeah, there's a lot of times where we, you know, got to sit here patiently. And there's a lot of times when a good amount of trades sometimes come later on in the day for me. Because think about it. In the past month or 2 months that like month or a month and a half that I've been streaming, you guys have never seen me take more than like 3 trades. It's very rare. Will you stream during debate? I don't know. So the red and green bars on the left screen, Michael, are the it's just a tick counter because on the left side it is a 500 chart, 500 tick chart. So this is just counting the ticks. Like you can see the number going up every time, right? It's up to 500. Every time 500 gets filled, you'll see a new candle pop up. Bottom is just ATR for it. This is just to understand short-term trend, nothing crazy. Our main execution is still on this chart. I don't know if I will, but I think if you guys want, we can just chat in the Discord about the debate if you guys want to. But let me know if you guys want me to stream during the debate, we can. We can have a nice chat. More than happy to. I think that'll be fun. But if a good amount of people say yes, I'll set it up. I mean, if they don't wear masks, that's what happens, right? You gotta be careful out there. When I step out, I still go wear a mask every single time. Let's see. I mean, their doctor's literally been telling the whole White House, like, hey, start wearing a mask, but nope. They don't wear the mask, and that's what happens. Literally didn't wear the mask at the debate. And he was making fun of Biden for wearing a mask. Like, come on. I think that's like the instant karma that people talk about, right? Right now, I'm still waiting for a play, guys. I'm hoping we can at least get a nice pullback and then another nice move to the upside. That'd be very nice. So Lewis, I have a quick question for you. I've had the CL 20-minute Kentler channel up on the side, just looking at it to test it out and wondering if this would be your entry point if you were to get long, right? Around 39.66. If that's part of the strategy, right? If price can, broke through below, now wants to pump up again, right? Same thing like here. If it can push through, right? 39.66, would that be the entry that you would probably trade? Or am I reading the Kentler channels wrong? Because I'm still trying to learn about it. Because from what I've been scrolling through and everything, it seems like get the push up, come back right on the, when it tries to push right back down, right? Or if it comes down, go for the push up. You can enter right at the middle. So in this case, I would say 39.65 would probably be the best area to enter. Let me know what you think. Oh, your entry would be the break of lows. That's interesting. So you play off of the lows and the push of that. I was thinking you go for the reversal. I mean, I'll have to mess around with it. Or do you go long at the break of lows? Maybe, I don't know. Still a lot to figure out here. Not too complicated for this one, but still. Still pushing, still coming back in that morning range again. Thank you, Chuck. I'll definitely check that out in the random chat. Dragon, does anybody have a strategy for when price doesn't move? Yeah, it's called go eat lunch because it's not good to trade then. If it's getting choppy, you don't trade. That's the strategy. It's not worth it. Right now you see it bearish? Okay. Interesting. I mean, we could get a nice reverse because Delta and Price have been on two different waves, right? Because Delta's been pushing down, Price has still been pushing up just a little bit, trying to hold out, getting choppy. So it'll be very interesting to see. Let the price dictate the course. Yeah, definitely. Price is the leader. And right now it's just going back and forth, guys. I'm hoping for a nice pullback potentially, because if we can, hopefully we can get something out of Trump too, where it says like, okay, I'll approve, we can have the talk. That would be very nice to hear. Right now, a nice pullback down to like 33.80s or so. That'd be very nice. And then continue the long position and then finally break through that 3400, because we really couldn't. We're getting close to it, but we haven't. Yesterday we did, but again, it's been acting as a nice key level, right? And it was a key level from yesterday as well. So like key level from yesterday was around 33.96, and that's where we're bouncing off of today. And yesterday we went all the way up to 34.21, but hey, this might be a little start of a bigger downtrend, right? Because if this becomes the area where we push down, connect the dots. Remember, I'm not surprised by these recoveries, man. Like, it doesn't shock me anymore. Like, we pulled up the whole market after during a pandemic. Like, come on. Cancel all real quick. Let's see. Yeah, FOMC will be talking today, so we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm gonna hop off the stream, guys. I'll still be trading for today because I still think there should be a good move popping up later on in the day. So I'll just be patient. But as of right now, we still have a loss of 175. But I think I'll definitely easily get it back after a pullback. I think I'll definitely get it back. So yeah, I think I'll hop off, go get some lunch. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you're trading, stay profitable, get those good trades, stay disciplined as always. And I will be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace out.